Resident Evil. Alright, what's up? Fruities. Today it is just me on my own, and I don't know, with some of the hype surrounding around Resident Evil 9, I've kind of been feeling like going back to this franchise and just talking about it. I've played every mainline game up to Resident Evil 8, so I will talk about Requiem for a little bit, but I don't have a ton to say about it just because I haven't played it yet. But I am definitely interested in checking that out in the near future. So let's just go. To be frank, I actually have not played any of the original PS1 era games. So Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, at least the originals I have not played. Same goes for a lot of the spin-offs. So Survivor, Code Veronica, which I'm waiting for the remake on that. Survivor, any of this stuff. So this starting here I played. So I'm just going to move any of the spin-off games in which I have not played. Just because I don't have anything to say about them, and that'd be a pretty boring video if I was just sitting here not talking about them. I guess Revelations I could actually put in this list because I have it. I have Revelations 2 as well. I just have not played that game at all. I've not even touched it. I bought it at around the time I was kind of like burnt out from the series, so don't have much to say about that. Neither do I the multiplayer games. We're pretty much left with the mainline franchise, starting with the remake of Resident Evil 1. So this might make some people mad, but I personally am not the biggest fan of Resident Evil 1 remake. I thought it was cool. It's not even that long or anything like that. It's just not my favorite game in the world. I would honestly put this in nay, which is probably a bad way to start off this video, but I don't know. It's cool. The aesthetic's really cool. Like, it's a good looking game. It has a very unique aesthetic to it that I feel like a lot of the later games don't have. Like, when you look at this, like, it's haunting in a way that a lot of them aren't. The uncanny models and like the detailed backgrounds. It's something like, look at the skeleton guy over there. Like, he looks freaking dope. But the actual gameplay is a bit too obtuse for me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best when it comes to figuring out puzzles, especially in horror games, which is probably why I didn't enjoy like Silent Hill 2 as much as I probably should have. But I don't know. I found a lot of the enemies to be pretty frustrating. The controls were a bit weird. I don't think they're the worst things in the world. I've played like the original Devil May Cries, so this type of gameplay is not the most insane thing ever. But it's a good game. It's a good game. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. I do like it. There's some good music. There's some good enemies. The Tyrant is an amazing final battle. I played the Jill campaign. I did not play Chris's. And I thought it was fun enough. I did die, I think, when the shark shows up, and I had not saved for like an hour before that, whenever you're with, I believe it's Lisa. And I freaking died and got sent back all the way there, and that took freaking forever to get back to my save point because I was scared about running out of ink ribbons, but I was playing on freaking easy, and it was not that big of a deal, bro. I was literally at the end of the game. So Resident Evil 1 is going in nay for me. Does not mean it's bad, it's just not my favorite game. So next up, I want to talk about Resident Evil 2 Remake. This was the, I want to say, second Resident Evil I ever played, because the first game I played was 7, which I'll talk about in a minute, but I thought Resident Evil 2 was good. I just really wanted to play the remake. I wanted to play a scary game a few years ago. I'm pretty sure it's 2023. Might even be 2022. It was a long time ago where I played these games, and I thought I was going to be blown away, but I was not, sadly. I'm honestly a bit tempted to put it in nay, just because I don't remember a lot of it. I remember it being pretty frustrating. I feel like if I go back to this game now, playing all the other games, I might have an easier time because I can kind of expect, what to go into. I've also only played Leon's campaign. I've seen a lot of people saying that Claire's campaign is a lot better, so I have nothing to say about that. I think the gameplay is really good, and so is the atmosphere and the tone. Let me go over so we can see some of this. Like, this game is spooky. There's some pretty good jump scares, and also, it's like how freaking, what is this picture? A selfie with the damn zombie. But look at just how dark this game is. I think that's also one of my big issues, is it's literally just visually so dark that sometimes it's hard to play because you can't see anything, and I get it. Dark makes it scary because jump scares and all that, but it just kind of hinders some of my enjoyment from the game when I can't see a damn thing going on. And I feel like that's something that the lighting in Resident Evil 3 remake fixes, which I have some hot takes on that game. But I don't know. This is a really good game. Just the same way I feel about Resident Evil 1. Really good game, but it's based off of gameplay that I just find dated. So when you kind of modernize that so to the nail, because this game's a lot more, what's it even called? Accurate, I guess, to that original RE2 than the RE3 remake is. You know, they didn't really change a lot from what I've heard and seen in other reviews. So it just doesn't really work for me in a way that I was expecting. So I would put this one in nay. Yeah, I'll put it in nay. Because there's going to be a lot of nays. It might go up to yay once we talk about some of these later games. It's definitely not worse than some. We'll keep it in yay, because it's definitely not worse than some of these other ones. The late stage of this game, especially on Leon's campaign, got a bit too out there for me too in terms of the scope. But, it's not bad. Resident Evil 3, I would put this in Jimin tier. Well, might actually drop down to gay, but I freaking love this game. I love the Resident Evil 3 remake. This was probably the third game I played, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I do not care that this game is, oh my god, $40. Okay, $40 is too much for this game. I do not care that this game is damn near, 4 hours long, and 30 minutes of it is playing as Carlos in the hospital. I just thought this game was unbelievably fun. Every part of this game worked for me. I love the story. I love the gameplay. The characters were cool. What the hell is this? Is this from the online mode? I did not play that, so. Oh, yeah, this has to be from the online mode. Damn, what the hell? This game looks horrible. The models and everything. Why even include these photos? I guess that's probably why the price is so high on this one. But I don't know. I thought walking around Raccoon City was a lot more fun than walking around the damn police station. The gameplay was great. Everything was great, in my opinion. This is a Jimin game. I don't even care. I don't care. Nemesis was fun. I haven't even played the original, so I can't even tell you what's better or what's worse about it. I just liked it. Okay, RE4 is exactly how I feel about RE2. It is the most overrated game in the entire franchise, in my opinion. I just don't click with this game. The gameplay is just so whatever. It's just not fun in the modern age. I mean, I played it in 2023, so I can't say right now. If I go back to it, it's probably the same way, where I'm I could probably play it way better than I played it when I first played it. But I just didn't think that this game was fun. And also, I think the graphics kind of suck, bro. I don't care. This game's kind of ugly. In a way that the remake is not. This game looks. I mean, the Resident Evil 1 remake. Look, HD textures, SD textures. Literally, I don't know. Kind of like the SD textures more than the HD ones, to be honest. The HD ones just kind of look like ass. I don't know. Leon's funny in this game, but he's also just not my favorite character in this version of the game, I guess. Some of his quips, but he just doesn't get a lot to do, sadly. I feel like that's the biggest issue with the story in this one, because I'm someone who really actually likes the story in all the Resident Evil games. It's kind of what I play them for, which I guess is not a very popular opinion. I always see people saying, oh, it's about the gameplay, but I don't think the gameplay's that strong in this one. Oh my god, bro, this boss fight freaking pissed me the hell off, bro. I hated this damn boss fight. I was stuck in this shit for 30 minutes, but I don't know, I just wish that I liked this game more than I do. So that is why I would put it in yay, because it's still a good game. It's just not my favorite game, and it's definitely not one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. Resident Evil 4, we got another Jimin type game right here. This is the game that got me to buy a PS5, which is stupid because it was on PS4. But I really, really wanted to play this damn remake, which is funny because I played Resident Evil 4 literally, I don't know, a month before I played this game, the original, and I did not like it. But something about the remake, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna love this game, and I do, because it's amazing. Everything is improved, just the visuals, the vibe, the way that the story is told, some of the connections to later games being more filled out, Leon's characterization, and even what they do with Ashley too. And oh my god, bro, these graphics, look at this, bro. Oh, it is so much better. It's night and day. I cannot ever go back to playing that original game, and maybe I do need to replay the remake to see how I'm feeling about some of my gripes with Resident Evil 4, but I feel like everything was just so much more solid. And I also did play this game with my dad, first time through, and I thought that was a lot of fun, just because he's never played the original Resident Evil 4. I feel like it's a perfect blend of action and horror. they bring in a lot more horror elements in this game, and it makes it really like stick with you. I do think it fixes a lot of the issues that I have with the island too. I feel like that segment just went by way faster. That was like one of the lowest points in the original Resident Evil 4. I feel like it's not even an issue in this game. It's freaking classic. It's freaking amazing. I love the Resident Evil 4 remake. I thought it was amazing. Don't even have much more to say about it. It's just a banger. Resident Evil 5 is ass, bro. That's a name. I see so many people talking about how this game is so good. It's the most fun multiplayer game in the world. I played this game with my dad. Bro. Hell no. Hell freaking no. It's absolutely good. It was horrible. I don't know. I feel like this is where the series started to jump the gun. Obviously, it's such a departure too from Resident Evil 4 in terms of like the tone of it. I know Resident Evil 4 goes more actiony and the setting is way different than those first 3 games. But I feel like this game just goes too far in like a different direction. And this story did not do anything for me. I thought Chris and Shiva were okay, but I don't know. Just also the look of this game is very Xbox 360. Oh, I mean, look at that. That's the most Xbox 360 screenshot in existence. Just the color palette is just so ugly. A lot of the game taking place during the day too just makes it even more muddy. I just thought this game was not fun. I thought the ammo system was a big issue with someone like playing with someone who's never played a Resident Evil before. My dad just could not grasp the like limited ammo thing. Like it was like the most impossible thing in the world, and it made the entire game an issue. I also think like the boulder punching stuff is like funny, but I don't know. I just don't really have that many opinions on Resident Evil 5. Also, these pictures that I'm seeing, I was like, when did this stuff happen? I remember this mission sucking. But also, why do they have so many pictures? Damn. They got every picture of every moment in the entire game. It's cool. It's cool. It's an A for me though. It's cool. If they make a remake, I would definitely get it, but I just don't know if my opinions on it would go up at all. I think RE6 came out before Revelations. I don't even have it up, so I'll talk about Revelations real quick. That's an A for me. This is the only game that I've actually dropped while playing it in this entire franchise. I'm not necessarily saying it's bad. I just was so burnt out on the series. So I played all these games back to back in like probably the worst order possible. This was at the very end of my time with the series, and I was just over it. I don't know. Just something about the setting didn't work for me. I thought the story was interesting enough where it was going, but I know it ties in a lot with Resident Evil 5, and I already did not really care for the story in that game. So I just dropped it. I was not a fan of it. And I'm not a fan of where Jill's character, I guess, goes. I guess that also goes for Resident Evil 5. I'm just not a fan of what they do with her character, and even Wesker to that. So this was just a skip for me in all regards. So Resident Evil 6 is actually going to go all the way up here, which I know that just made everyone click off this list and be like, no, this is trash. But Resident Evil 6 is hella fun. Oh my god, it's like one of the worst screenshots you could ever pick. Look at how brown this game is too. But the gameplay in this game is like amazing. Like the gunplay and what you can do with like punching zombies in this game is the most fun thing. Like doing a headshot, pulling up as Leon, kicking their freaking head off, blowing their brains out. Like it's damn near amazing. But yeah, I do understand why people don't like this game. It is completely different than everything else, but it's not that far off from Resident Evil 5. I honestly feel like this game has more horror moments than Resident Evil 5 does, but we're not ready to talk about that, I guess. I think if this game got a remake and really, I don't want to say grounds itself, because the series is just not grounded in general, but kind of refines some of the story elements and makes the story maybe like cut down the 4 campaigns and turn it into one long story where you kind of weave in and out of the narratives. Maybe that would help, just because this game is so long. But I never got tired of this game. I also played it pretty differently than any other Resident Evil. So I played the Leon campaign on my own, and then I played Chris's campaign with my dad, and then I played the final campaign with my sister. And doing that made the entire story like way more interesting. It kind of made it like a holistic journey, you know, seeing just like what the hell was even going on. And I like what they do with some of the characters here. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of old man Leon, TBH. He's not even that old in this game, but I don't know. this was probably my favorite campaign just because of how weird it is and how much stuff goes on in it. Chris's campaign was fun. The ending was weird as hell, though. Leon's campaign is overly long. I get he's the main character, but it does drag on for a little bit too much, especially like the college stuff. Like, the tone of that is also way different than the rest of the game. It's probably like the least action-packed segment. And then when you get to the part with the truck driver and it blows up and you end up in like the bar and you have to like shoot out, that first mission is really long and there's not a lot of explanations going on at that moment. The rest of the story's pretty fun though. I do like the church level when you end up in the caverns and all that too as Leon. Some of the, like, I think it's Russia. I was not a huge fan of those moments. The China stuff was pretty fun though. I honestly think Resident Evil 6 is a very fun game, and I understand why people don't like it, obviously, because it's not like the other Resident Evil games. But I think it's fun. It's a fun game, and it's fun if you're not taking it as serious as I think a lot of people take it. It is not horrible. So let's see. Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 is the first Resident Evil game I ever played. I played this during COVID. I think it had to be 2020. It might be even 2021 at that point. But I remember I got it on GameFly. I wanted to play a scary game. I heard it was the scariest game ever at the time. You know, it is cool, but it is... Nah, it's definitely better than Resident Evil 6. I was kind of like 50-50, but no, it is better. This game is freaky, bro. Like, the first hour of this game is so scary to me. I don't even know why, because there's nothing that happens in the first hour. But just the atmosphere and the tone, just how everything is portrayed, it's just, oh my god, this game's about to be 10 years old. Wow, that's actually crazy. But everything in this game is great up until you get to the damn boat. Like, I absolutely love how this game starts, but it does not end well in my opinion. I think this part is the strongest part. The entire first, I want to say like 3-4 hours when you're just going through the Baker house is amazing until you end up in Lucas's house and you're just going through all his games. I thought that stuff was fine, but I think that's when I dropped it. The first time I played through it, I made it all the way until you go to the boat and you have to pick Zoe and bro, what the hell is Ethan's wife's name? And I remember I was like, I'm giving up. I'm tired of this game, not knowing that there's only like 2 hours left. But once you get to the boat until the end of the game, I feel like it is total padding. I think you honestly could have ended the game right there and it would have been like, wow, that was an amazing 6-hour experience. But the boat stuff is just, the enemy variety is so annoying, and a lot of the way that you have to fight them too is just so different. And I feel like a lot of the horror is just taken away. It becomes kind of like annoying. There's a lot of waiting at that point. But I like it. I still like this game a lot. I think the atmosphere is amazing. Chris looks freaking busted and chopped, bro. I do not like how Chris looks at all. Like, I don't know. This dude, like, why would they hire this dude? He looks nothing like Chris. What the hell? Who is that? Also, this DLC sucks. Like, I remember trying it out, and I was not a fan of it at all. So, that's all I have to say about this one. So, Resident Evil Village. Okay, so Resident Evil Village is my favorite Resident Evil game. Without a doubt. I freaking love Resident Evil Village. I don't like the name, though. I don't like that they started doing the subtitles instead of just doing the numbers. I get it, VII, whatever. Because Resident Evil 7 does the same thing, but it actually says 7 on the store and whatever. And then Resident Evil 9 does the same thing with the Requiem being the 9, or the Q being the 9. So Village is a lot of fun. I don't get why they use the werewolves as the selling factor for this game, because they don't do anything. They're not the main villains of the game. That's not what you're focused on the entire time. Also, same thing for using freaking Chris. He is not the main character in this game. Ethan is. He's barely even in this. I think that was my biggest issue when I first played through Village. I expected more Chris, and he just did absolutely nothing. So it's whatever. I thought this would be the best part of the game, and it genuinely was not. I thought this might actually be my least favorite area, just because they sell so much of it. And it's kind of in the same way as the Baker House, where this is the longest segment of the game. But it's just not that interesting. And a lot of the like walking around gets kind of stale after a while, in my opinion. But once you get later on, some of the stuff that happens in this game is so freaking crazy. Like the baby stuff is hella scary. I like this guy. This big fat guy. He's funny. But I honestly really enjoy all the stuff in the dollhouse. And then once you get... The swamp is fun. I don't see anyone ever talking about the swamp. I thought the swamp was actually a lot of fun. It feels really different than a lot of the Resident Evil games too. But I feel like this is what people feel like the original Resident Evil 4 was like in terms of tone and atmosphere. Like I feel like this game kind of perfects that. And I honestly feel like it does some of the stuff that the Resident Evil 4 remake does better, just because it focuses more on the horror, and I enjoy that a lot. Um, didn't even have a picture of it on here, but that like final area in the, what even is it? I don't even know. The industrial place. Some of the visuals in that area are incredible. I do feel like it drags a little bit, and some of the map layouts are like honestly really confusing. So it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's still not bad. So Resident Evil 8 is my favorite game. I would give that one a 9. Actually, I would give these two a 9. I give this a high 8. I would give this a low 8. I would give this high 7. I give this a mid 7, low 7, a 6, a 5. I can't even give a score for that. So Requiem, I have not played it yet, but I wish I could put it on this tier list. So Requiem is the newest game in the franchise, and I want to play it so bad. And legit, last week I was gonna go pick up my freaking physical copy. I didn't have it pre-ordered or anything like that, but I wanted to go look for it. I wanted to buy it physically because I was like, you know, I have a bunch of extra cash right now. I have the money to do this, and they just did not produce any copies, I guess. So you just cannot buy this game for like no reason at all. I'm like kind of annoyed by that because I have no, I don't even have most of the games physically. I only have 8 and 3 physically. I think I have the rest digitally. Did I say 3? I'm at 8 and 4 remake. But yeah, this game looks freaking badass, and a lot of the gameplay seems like the perfect thing for me because I like the action in Resident Evil 6. I like the horror in Resident Evil 7 and 8. Put them together, bro. This is gonna be my favorite game in the whole franchise. I already know it. Going back to Raccoon City, having a more realistic setting, I guess, sounds cool to me. But I want to check it out. I want to see what's going on in this story. I want to see how it ends, the saga. Obviously there's gonna be another Resident Evil after this. I think it's funny that like they're like, this is gonna be the last game. Or at least a lot of people were, especially when they were doing Apocalypse. When that was like the rumor at the time. But you know, this is out. This is already out. I honestly can't believe it. It feels like crazy. This game's been out for, what is this, February 26th? Dang, it's been out for almost 2 weeks already. So I need to play it immediately. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.